Strap in for the world's fastest half hour. You're on the Straight Line, presented by O'Reilly Auto Parts. And brought to you by Hercules Tires and Grunt Style Apparel. Now, here are your hosts, Doug Herbert and Ralph Sheheen.
Robert Hight goes from breaking a bone to breaking the bank with a win at the Motorplex. And Steve Torrence continues on the hot streak. They're coming up next, right here on the Straight Line. Hi, everybody. Ralph Sheheen and Doug Herbert with you as we get ready for another great episode here of MRN's The Straight Line, presented by O'Reilly Auto Parts. Great to have you with us here again today. And we're going to jump right into the conversation with our guests here today. We're going to get right into the Racing Electronics Hotline, and Robert Hight is going to join us. Hey, Robert, how you doing today?
Great. How are you guys?
Buddy, we got to begin with this crazy couple of weeks you've had since Gateway. You blow the body off, going through the lights, taking the win. Then you kind of went underground. Nobody knew really what was going on. Then all of a sudden it comes out, you broke a bone, but you're back in victory lane. How'd that all come together?
Well, I'm kind of like a race car. They had to put me back together. And so that's why we were a little quiet last week, trying to make sure we did everything right and got things done in a timely fashion so that I could get back out there. You know, usually this is one of those injuries that takes a while to heal, but I was fortunate enough to get the best doctors, and they put me back together, and I was able to build a brace to keep the seat belts off of my collarbone, and right back at it in Dallas, and it worked out pretty well.
Hey, Robert, the way that you guys do things over there at John Force Racing, and as concerned, I know, as Force is about injuries and taking care of everybody, he's probably the top of the list when he's going, hey, Robert, let's make sure that you're right. What can we do to make sure this car's comfortable for you? Because obviously you got to be comfortable in the car to be able to perform at the level that you need to win.
Oh, without a doubt. I mean, we touched all bases. We even, sent Austin Prock back to St. Louis, and they made 4 runs in a funny car just in case I couldn't drive. He needed some more seat time, so we had all the bases covered. And fortunately for me, the doctors said I was good to go. And I'll be honest, even yesterday after the race was over and traveling back to California, I feel just fine.
What were the challenges over the course of the weekend in Texas dealing with the injury? Any?
Not really. The unknown, it's kind of like getting in one of these cars for the first time. You don't know what to expect, and these things are violent. Doug can tell you that they're not a smooth Cadillac going down the road. They're anything but that. They vibrate, shake, and it's not a smooth ride. So you don't know what to expect. Whether you could hurt yourself or re-injure, but and then hitting the chutes, slamming you forward, negative G's. But I really believe that this apparatus we built saved me, because I never had any problems or any pain or discomfort in the car. The biggest thing is getting in, getting out, and getting in and out of the fire suit. You're moving your body and contorting in different ways. But heck, I'm back to normal.
That's good. Well, you're a tough guy, because I know getting in the car hurting like that sometimes is tough. But it seems like when you get in the car and they fire the engine up, all of a sudden all the pain goes away, because you're so focused on what you got to do.
That's exactly right. It doesn't take a lot to focus when you have 10,000 horsepower sitting in front of you, and especially after the accident. These things can blow up. They're real machines. You got to pay attention. And I tell you what, when that wind lights up on the wall, every round, that the adrenaline and everything is going, I think I could have driven one-handed.
Tell me a little bit about this apparatus, the brace that your guys came up with. Who came up with the design? How did that come together?
Well, actually, I was the one that thought about it, because I knew seatbelts go right over your collarbone. Okay, that's how it broke. So luckily, Greg Anderson a couple years ago had heart surgery, and Simpson had built this carbon fiber chest protector. So got on the phone with them. They sent it to me, and that was kind of my starting point. I took that, and we were here at the shop. I put a fire suit on. we have mannequins that we put fire suits on for display. So we built this mannequin and made it the same size as me, put a head and neck restraint on it, and then started with this thing Greg Anderson had it, connect the dots and keep an air gap, where your collarbone is, and then we got this gel stuff and put under it just for a little extra padding. And I'll be honest, had I had that in St. Louis, I wouldn't have a collarbone issue. So this is something that I may wear from here forward.
Wow. Okay, enough talking about being hurt. Let's talk about winning. So you got the St. Louis deal, and then you come back over here in Dallas last weekend and whipped him again. And right down to the final round, J.R. Todd, the guy that is closest to you in points, and you got him too. It's like when you got to get those guys, you know how to get them.
We've been doing well. Steve Torrence has won 3 races in the countdown. That's all that we've had is 3 races. And, looking back, I could have had 3 wins as well. I red lit in Reading. So I screwed that up. We had the best car there. And, at the beginning of the countdown, my prediction was if we won 3 races out of the 6 and no first-round losses, you'd win a championship. And I'm rethinking that a little now because I have 2 wins and a semifinal finish, and I only have a 50-point lead. And, points and a half at Pomona at the end. Theoretically, the next 3 races, J.R. Todd and I could go to the final, the next 2. And if I beat him, and then I stumbled at Pomona and he won, he'll be the champ. So it's every run, every point is more important than it's ever been, and it's exciting.
Charlotte is up next, and there's a hurricane cruising up out of the Gulf. That could bring some weather to the area this coming week. Might not impact race day, but it could impact the scheduling and qualifying runs and all that. How are you and the team talking about that? What kind of conversations are you having?
Well, actually, we normally don't talk about, what the forecast and all that is. We look at, what the temperature and things like that's going to be. Right now, it doesn't look like it's going to be any rain. It is going to be good conditions. Looks like it's going to be mid to low 70s, and it doesn't get any better when it's those kind of conditions. This is the kind of racing you want to have in the countdown, and so it's exciting. And that's a fast racetrack. Bruton Smith built, I believe the best facility in drag racing, and you could see records there. So, and hopefully, when those conditions are like that, that's what Jimmy Prock lives for. My crew chief, he wants to set the big numbers, and I'm excited. I cannot wait to get there. I'm glad there wasn't another weekend off.
Hey, Robert, tell us, just reflecting a little bit, we've known each other a long time, and when you've come around to getting to the point where you've won multiple championships and winning 45 races and doing all the things that you've done, looking back 20 years ago, could you ever imagine that you'd be where you are, general manager, president of John Force Racing, and all these things? It's like you got to look back and go, yeah, you know what, things are going along pretty well.
No, I still have to pinch myself. This doesn't seem possible. It doesn't seem like, that I've been doing it this long. 45 wins, man, that's a lot of racing. And it's just kind of been a blur. I don't know. It's just, I'm very fortunate, try to work every day and do the best I can because this was an unbelievable opportunity that John Force gave me. So he comes down there. That's probably the coolest thing is after a win, especially the one in Dallas where you race injured, John Force lives for stuff like that. And it's pretty cool to see how proud he is of us and our team.
Overcoming what you did this past week, even though you said you felt great, still the team had to wonder, how's our driver going to do? And yet you performed flawlessly. You get the win. That's got to be a huge momentum boost for the guys on the crew as you come into Charlotte now, getting ready to go racing here. Sometimes it can be a moment like that can be the difference in a championship. Do you sense that energy within the shop this week?
I definitely do. You got that right. And especially like I told you earlier, when you have a red light, the first race in the countdown, then you start, doubting yourself, and you think, "Man, what my team did they lose faith in me?" But then when you can go out and win 2 in a row and do it like we did, we're a real team here. And got to also remember, I'm pretty proud of those guys. They, we had another car in the trailer that we had ran early in the year, so it was kind of a known race car. But Jimmy never really cared for that car. It never reacted and did what he wanted. So instead of pulling that out of the trailer, which would have been the easiest to go to Dallas, they built a brand new race car and tried to put all the control system, everything that was on the crash car. And these things just aren't all the same, okay? It's not that easy to make every single car the same. So to go out there and win with a brand new car, I'm pretty proud of those guys. They worked their tails off, and I've never seen a more focused group of individuals. They've won before. We've all won championships together, and they've just got their heads down and they're working hard.
Robert, that brings up a kind of a point that I've thought about, and probably a lot of people have thought about. Jimmy Proc's been with you. You guys had great success years ago, and then he kind of went away for a little bit, and then he comes back, and it's like, you got the band right back together, and you went back to such an incredible form. What makes you guys gel so well and creates that winning momentum that you have?
I wish I knew that. I think we're just real close, good friends. We talk on the phone every single day. If I'm not in Indianapolis, I'm in California, we're on the phone. We all have the same goals, and never ever point blame or just always stay positive. And Jimmy Proc's my best friend, and it was like when he left, I lost my best friend. And then to get him back a couple years later, man, it's like this is a dream come true. Don't want to really race with anybody else.
Well, Robert, hang on to that mannequin, because if you go on and win this championship, that'll be the most famous mannequin in all of NHRA racing history.
Exactly. Yep. We have two dummies, the mannequin and me.
All right, pal. Hey, thanks for joining us on the Racing Electronics Hotline, and best of luck this weekend.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Hope to see you there this week.
All right, Robert Hight joining us on the Racing Electronics Hotline. We're coming right back with more MRN Straight Line.
Things happen fast in racing, and if you don't know where to look, you can miss it all. With Legend from Racing Electronics, you'll never miss another moment. Legend gives you live fan vision video, in-car cameras, and stats at premier National Series events, and the next generation race scanner for unfiltered driver and crew audio at any motorsports event nationwide. Race fans have never been closer to the action. Welcome to the future of the fan experience. Learn more by visiting racingelectronics.com.
The newest, most interactive track in NASCAR.
New garage and infield experience, new finish line location, new seats, new driver access, new Gatorade victory lane, new everything.
Is now in Phoenix. Let's celebrate with the semifinal.
Just about anything can happen when you have a track like Phoenix. It's the place to be.
History making right there.
The Can-Am 500 and opening weekend of ISM Raceway, November 9th, 10th, 11th. Buy the best tickets now at ismraceway.com.
For children with chronic medical conditions, Victory Junction means friends, fun, freedom. That's because we provide a medically safe environment where kids who live in a world of hospitals and doctors' visits can laugh, play, and discover all they can be, all at no cost to their families. Victory Junction inspires confidence, builds self-esteem, and changes the life of every camper who comes through our gates. Find out how you can change a child's life. Go to victoryjunction.org.
Welcome back to the Straight Line, brought to you by O'Reilly Auto Parts. Here's more with Ralph Sheheen and Doug Herbert.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back into our studios here at MRM. We're going to get right back on our Racing Electronics Hotline. Steve Torrence, who is by far the hottest guy in the pit area, is just tearing it up in Top Fuel. Leads the point standings by 103 over Clay Milliken. Joins us now on our Racing Electronics Hotline. And Steve, congratulations again.
Man, thanks a lot. It's been pretty unreal the last few weeks.
Steve, after they reset the points, it kind of it probably, I don't know, I guess that deflated you guys a little bit because you were so strong the first part of the year. It's like, gosh, I wish they wouldn't take that lead that we got away. But I'll tell you what, you guys, it kind of feels like it made you mad, and you stepped up and just whipped them the last 3 weeks again, and just incredible, man.
Man, I'll tell you what, I've voiced my opinion a lot about the countdown. I'm not a fan of it at all. But, yeah, we were 10 rounds ahead after Indy, and we lost all of those. And so now we're we're having to try to dig and get back at, just to do the best we can. So I think we're 5 rounds ahead right now, and there's still a lot of racing left to do. So I hadn't really looked at the points very much. I did another call this morning, and I said that Clay and I have kind of just set ourselves out from everybody, and I have been watching that guy. That sucker, that dadgum hillbilly keeps coming and whooping on us and trying to get there, and we're having to fight him off. I mean, he said in the interview the other day, and I couldn't help but laugh. He said it's going to be a heavyweight battle to the end, and I thought, Clay, obviously you hadn't looked at either one of us. We're not neither one of us are heavyweights, but it's been fun. The way that the countdown has gone, you couldn't script it any better. I mean, to go out and win the first 3 of them, it speaks volumes for what Richard Hogan, Bobby Laguna, and every one of those Capco guys, what they do. I mean, because just had a really good race car every time we've showed up.
Every championship I've ever seen won, no matter what form of motorsports you're talking about, the team and the driver have to be great. And then there has to be a little bit of luck/magic thrown in. Obviously, you've got a great team. There's obviously some magic going on here. What do you think is the difference in between the two? Is there more magic, more strength with the team? Which one is the bigger part for you guys right now?
I think that, like you said, you're right. You always have to have that magic, but you really have to have that team. And to do as well as we've done over the last 2 years is just a testament to how strong the team is. To go out, we've won 16 races out of 45 of them. We've won 16 of them. So it's pretty remarkable what they're able to accomplish, and they've just got the continuity between them. They go out, they don't even talk. They just put the car together and maybe grunt or bump somebody and get them out of the way. But I mean, it's organized chaos. And Doug, you know that it's just how it goes. I mean, when the team is on, it's on. And we have had some luck. We've had it where you got that magic where they just fall your way on those hole shot wins, or like in the final round against Terry. I was late. I was dead late, which I hadn't been as good as this year as I was last year on the tree. But that one right there, I was there to be picked off and just got by with one. So I would say that the team is probably the strongest, but we do have the magic when we need it.
Steve, like you said, the guys, as they're working on the car, they don't even need to talk to each other. So it kind of turns into where the guys working on the car are a machine. So you're a machine driving the car, they're a machine working on the car, and machines fail less than humans, right? It's just like be a machine.
Yeah, and I hadn't done the best job. I mean, but I've been there when I needed to be. But those guys right there, it takes those guys to do the same thing every time for Richard and Bobby to do the same thing every time. If they don't have the same race car, it's difficult to tune, and they're turning out a product every time that is exactly the same. And I couldn't have had nearly the success that we've had without them. And that equates to confidence as a driver. When you can get in that race car and you know that you can go out there and run with or better than anybody, it makes you drive a lot better.
Okay, so let's go back to that boxing theme for a minute, and let's do the tail of the tape here. You and Clay both obviously have great teams behind you that are getting the cars together and giving you guys everything you need. Size each other up as drivers. What's the advantage he has over you and you might have over him?
That guy's a 6-time IHRA world champion. He's been in this situation a lot more than me, racing for a championship. So I would say that he's probably a little more calm and confident in the pressure moments. But I think that I'm pretty weathered to it right now after last year. I think that we're going to go up there and do the same. I don't know if it's Clay or if it's the car or the tune-up. He hasn't been as strong on the tree. And I've been able to get around him a couple times because of that. But I'm not going to knock anything with him because I do know that tune-up has a lot to do with the reaction time of a Top Fuel car. We've worked on that quite a bit over the last few years, and it's just an advantage that we've had that they don't have right now. But they can run as hard or harder than us sometimes. So it's just going to be the way the cookie crumbles for this championship, I believe.
Hey, Steve, your crew chief, Richard Hogan's done a great job for you. I've known him for a long, long time. He had some health issues a few weeks ago. Tell us a little bit about that, and now he's bounced back and come out, and obviously the adrenaline from winning some races probably helps a little bit on recovery too.
You know, he's been battling this for quite some time. We don't know exactly how long, but it was something that really said at Denver, and he wasn't with us at the racetrack, so tried to get him taken care of there. He had an irregular heartbeat. They went in and shocked it on Monday after Denver to see if that would fix it, and it only lasted about a day. So he's been battling that since then. We took him Monday after St. Louis over to the Cleveland Clinic. He was treated there. They did an ablation where they go in through the artery in your leg and do a procedure to the heart that is more of a permanent fix. And he texted me the following week, you know, that week that we were off, he texted me, he goes, man, I didn't realize how bad I actually felt. So he's feeling a lot better now, and it's just a testament to how much drive that every one of these guys got, including him, to feel that bad and be at the racetrack and still perform at the level that he has been and given us such an awesome race car. So it was even better to go to Dallas and win in front of the hometown crowd, but to do it when he was feeling better and just being able to enjoy it and not win the race and go to the hotel and rest up and try to go home. So he's good now. He's one of my best friends, and I call him my one-eyed bandit. You know, he's had some glaucoma issues with his eyes since he was born, and doesn't have any vision in one of his eyes. So I have to give him a little crap about it. He does an exceptional job.
Well, when the bell rings for the next round of this championship brawl between you and Clay, you're going to be in the starting line here in Charlotte. How does this racetrack size up for you?
Good. We've done well there in the past. I've been quoted as not being the biggest fan of the four wide, but I've had to retract all that because even though I don't care for it a whole lot, we do really well at it. So we won there in the spring. I'm hoping we can carry some of that Charlotte momentum back there and do well, but we're only racing 2 lanes this time, so I'm looking forward to it. It's a cool place to go, but we got to come out swinging. We're at no way in a position that we can relax. I mean, Clay we got him at Reading. They made a mistake there at Dallas this weekend in the semis, and then we're able to get around them in the final at St. Louis. But those guys have been picking up those bonus points when they need to in qualifying and keeping the pressure on us. So it's going to be, I'm not going to say it's be a heavyweight, but it's a bare knuckles brawl all the way to the end.
Well, we're looking forward to seeing the next round of it. 103 points separating Steve Torrence and Clay Milliken. Thanks for joining us here today, Steve, on our Racing Electronics Hotline.
Hey, thank you very much. I appreciate you having me on.
All right, pal. Good luck this weekend. And we're going to come right back with more MRN's Straight Line presented by O'Reilly Auto Parts. Stay with us.
Citywide to countryside, whatever you drive, wherever you go. Hercules Tires has the value, selection, and industry-leading warranty to get you there, no matter where the road takes you. To learn more, visit HerculesTire.com. Hercules Tires, ride on our strength.
Things happen fast in racing, and if you don't know where to look, you can miss it all. With Legend from Racing Electronics, you'll never miss another moment. Legend gives you live fan vision video, in-car cameras, and stats at NASCAR and other Premier Series events. And the next generation race scanner for unfiltered driver and crew audio at any motorsports event nationwide. NASCAR fans have never been closer to the action. Welcome to the future of the fan experience. Learn more by visiting racingelectronics.com.
When the smoke settles, the entertainment never stops. On race weekend, your favorite NASCAR personality is an everyday superhero.
Chase Elliott is going to victory lane.
But when they leave the track, they're just like us, everyday people.
You know, as I've said before, I'm going to be me.
I'm Susie Armstrong. Join me on a daily journey as we discuss the hot topics and engaging personalities of NASCAR Nation. The world of racing, weekdays on the Motor Racing Network.
You're staged for another run on the straight line. Brought to you by O'Reilly Auto Parts. Once again, here's Doug and Ralph.
Welcome back to the straight line. Ralph Sheheen, Doug Herbert with you. We want to thank all of our guests, Steve Torrence and Robert Hight, joining us today on our Racing Electronics hotline. You know, Racing Electronics provides the best communication, equipment, and technology to professional teams and drivers. And that very same technology is available in the products they offer race fans. Visit racingelectronics.com to learn more. Doug, time for us to do our red light, green light, and let's begin on the negative so we can finish with the positive.
Yeah.
Let's red light, and it's going to be in the pro stock category because we're hearing another name is going to be vacating a seat next year. We're dwindling the numbers down a little.
Yeah, I mean, NHRA even had that announcement last year that they were going to go to 8-car fields at some of the places, and I don't know. I don't see it coming back around. I think the cost from running a pro stock team is, you know, it's really taken off. So now, in addition to Tanner Gray going over to NASCAR to do something else, Drew Skillman leaving NHRA Pro Stock. So that's kind of a big hit. Two of the guys that are winning races are not going to be back racing NHRA Pro Stock next year. I think that's a bummer.
This is a category that's always been important to the manufacturers. Is it time to change the category, or do we have to do something different to the rules? Is it just a cost thing? Where do you put it?
Well, you know, I'm a nitro guy, so I'm the wrong guy to ask on that. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, but we need more to the show. So
you need more to the show. I personally think those factory stock hot rod deal, the what do they call it? The factory hot rod deals, like the new Dodge Charger. They've got the Ford Mustang Cobra Jet deal, the Copo Camaro deal, or whatever. I mean, those things are cool, and they're, you know, somebody can go down and buy one of those cars, do a little modification tunes, take it out to the track, and potentially win a race. I think that's cool. I think that's something people can relate to more. I mean, 500 cubic inch pro stock cars, they got weird looking hoods. I don't think the fans are relating to them very much anymore. And it's, you know, in the old days, it was Warren Johnson and, you know, Bob Glidden, Butch Leal. I mean, all these guys with the big hoods, and they look like mailboxes. Yeah, Grumpy Jenkins. I mean, that was kind of cool, but there was a lot of innovation. I think you know, now it's down to technology, and I don't think the fans they're not loving that as much. Top Fuel is a whole different thing because it's sound, smell, all that stuff. I think the pro stockers need to get to something maybe like that factory stock class would be popular. Those cars are pretty fast. I mean, they're even running 7-second cars. It wasn't that long ago that pro stock cars went fast. So my opinion is, I don't know. Pro mod cars are pretty exciting.
I'm a fan.
Now, you know, so maybe maybe there's something to go in between there. But I would say those factory hot rods are pretty cool. I would lean towards that direction. But pro mods, man, they're fun and exciting to watch.
I love pro mod because it's all different. Right? And I think that's a cool thing for the kids and the fans and the grandstands. Every car comes up, looks different, sounds different, doing something different. It's really neat. Now let's go quickly to green light. And green light goes right back to the category you were just talking about. And Leah Pritchett won championship in the
this factory showdown hot rods. Leah Pritchett wins the championship with her 2 wins in a row, including this last weekend at Dallas. I think that's pretty cool.
Did it with her Challenger, right?
Yeah, running Top Fuel and in the factory modified or factory pro stock deal. I think that was pretty fun. So proud to see that, and you know, might be a good direction for the sport.
What I like about that is that you got one of the top name drivers from Top Fuel also competing in this category over here. I think that's pretty neat too. You know.
Sure. And Alan Johnson, pro stock champion, Alan Johnson running in that factory pro stock class as well. So yeah, I think there's a lot of cool things going on in that with those factory hot rods.
Right. Okay. That's red light, green light for the day. We got a little bit more for you coming up right here on MRN's The Straight Line.
The roar of motorcycles takes over Daytona International Speedway, October 18th through the 21st, with the return of Biketoberfest. Racing action features top riders from CCS and Azra as they take on Daytona's challenging 3.51-mile road course. Stroll through the area's largest motorcycle marketplace and enjoy Saturday's Hot Leathers fashion show and bikini contest in Harley-Davidson Thunder Alley. Marketplace admission and parking are free. For race tickets, call 1-800-PIT-SHOP or visit DaytonaInternationalSpeedway.com.
On the racetrack, you can only go as far as your engine can take you. It's the same on the highway. Making a run with a Detroit engine under the hood gives you the industry-leading fuel economy, reliability, and durability your business needs. The Detroit DD13, DD15, and DD16 engine solutions are specifically engineered to make a run as profitable as possible. Don't just want better business solutions, demand them. Learn more at demanddetroit.com.
This fall, experience the suspense as heroes clash metal to metal with heartbreak. Get lost in a drama without the predictable ending. No sappy romance, no special effects. Just one adrenaline-filled day where pure speed drives the plot. Coming soon to a track near you. The Hollywood Casino 400 Playoff Elimination Race, only at Kansas Speedway, October 21st. Tickets at KansasSpeedway.com. Rated U for unexpected.
You're listening to The Straight Line, brought to you by O'Reilly Auto Parts. Now, back to Ralph and Doug.
Hey everybody, we're back. Ralph, Sheheen, and Doug Herbert with you here on MRN's The Straight Line, presented by O'Reilly Auto Parts. Big weekend of racing here in Charlotte over at ZMAX Dragway. Everybody's coming to town, and everybody's staying at Herbert's house because he's throwing the big party on the weekend for the Breaks Gala. Tell us all about it.
Well, we're looking forward to it. Yeah, Friday we're going to have a big, our big annual fundraiser for the Breaks charity, and that's going to be at the Quail Hall at Country Club. Felix Sabatis is bringing us down there and hosting the deal. So anybody that watched any NASCAR racing would understand Felix Sabatis, as long as you get a little bit of a Ricky Ricardo accent in there. But he's a great guy hosting this party for us this weekend. Or Friday night. We're going to have a lot of fun. I know Clay Milliken's conferred to come. I think Tony Schumacher is. You just never know. John Force shows up the last minute.
Right. So
but
listen,
it'll be a fun thing.
I'm a big fan of memorabilia, sports memorabilia. I just enjoy that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And I know you always do a big auction. What am I bidding on this time?
I'll tell you what, we've got some great auction items. Probably one of the best, the Coletta Motorsports guys, and particularly John Oberhofer, crew chief for the DHL, J.R. Todd Funny Car, built a wine rack for us out of a Top Fuel engine. So that will be really something to check out. So go to Put on the Brakes website. I'm sure there's a link to go and check out some of the awesome auction items. We've got some, a lot of race memorabilia, but vacations and probably one of our big live auction items. Felix is giving us a trip on his boat. Well, he would yell at me if I called it a boat. I think they're called a yacht.
Yeah,
it tows a boat behind it or something. So anyway, it'll be pretty fun. Somebody could bid on that and have a lot of fun down there in the Bahamas or
anywhere on one of Felix's yachts is a good time. Yeah, that's fantastic. Okay, so this is all going to take place on Saturday night. Let's talk quickly about the race coming Sunday. Who do you like coming into the round?
Man, I'll tell you what. I think at the track, Clay Milliken, I think it's going to come down just as Steve Torrence said. Clay Milliken, Steve Torrence, it's, their cars can both run really well. So actually kind of another thing that Steve said, it's going to come down to a driver, I think, at ZMAX. I wouldn't be surprised to see those two guys in the final round again. And same thing in Funny Car. Robert Hight, J.R. Todd, both teams are running really, really good. I think it's going to be a pick 'em kind of a deal. I got to say, Robert Hight, the connection that he has with Jimmy Prock and the success that they have had over the past multi-years are going to make a difference. So we'll see.
Make sure you go to the Brakes website, get into that bidding. Don't bid too high. I'd like to get something out of it. I'm Ralph. He's Doug. We'll see you soon right here on MRN Straight Line, presented by O'Reilly Auto Parts. So long, everybody.